National Political Commissar, where we were part of this team because we believe that every election, a contest not just of ideas, of political power, political office, also an ideological contest between our progressive socialist ideology of Zanu PF and the anarchist ideology of the opposition. We therefore want to couch our message to the voter and any of the promises we make to the voter around our ideology as Zanu PF. Most importantly, we were making our party members aware and the candidates aware that the president, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, is our chief ideologist, and therefore he has made philosophical statements which simplify our socialist ideology for every person, every citizen to be able to understand and to be able to internalize that ideology and participate in the struggle to liberate our people economically, empower our people economically, and to make sure that Zimbabwe is truly independent, sovereign state, which is ruled according to the wishes and goals of this nation and not any other. So we are emphasizing that they address their constituencies and publicize this ideology. Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, nyika inotongwa nevene vayo, and that we shall leave no place and no one behind. The reason being, the opposition, since its inception as MDC in 1999, have been preaching an ideology of anarchy, kudirajecha, calling for sanctions so that the people suffer and rise up against the Zanu PF government. They've been preaching a gospel of defiance to all the institutions, state institutions. They believe ZEC is captured, yet they participate in every election. They believe that the courts are captured, yet they are always in the courts seeking redress. They claim to be democratic when they themselves are not practicing democracy in their own party. They don't have a constitution, they don't have an ideology that is clearly in the interest of the people. They operate like a shadowy mafia group or a terrorist group which has no structure, no constitution, and is not accountable to anyone, not to the constitution of the country, not to the laws of the country, and they believe they are a law unto themselves. So we want our people, our candidates, to make this clear to every voter that the choice is between these agents of doom and the progressive, forward-looking, visionary Zanu PF under the President E.D. Mnangagwa's leadership. That is the aim and the message that we are carrying into these by-elections.
Very right. You see, one would have expected that we went through a long campaigning period. We went through the elections and the expectations of everybody, from the party side, from the government, from the electorate, is to say, look, now elections are behind us. Let's focus on building our economy. Let's focus on what we think we now need to move ahead. We don't want to be just in the election mode every time because it detracts us from the focus. elections are very expensive, and we would have wanted to focus on what we have been saying during the campaign, that this is what we are going to do and deliver. And the electorate expect delivery after voting people into office. But the unfortunate thing is now we are getting distracted. We are getting now to go back into the election mode. So it doesn't augur well as a country in terms of development. It doesn't augur well. We would have wanted to focus. But as you rightly say, the issue is that, and as Vamachacha said earlier on, it's really reflects on the caliber of our opposition. And you found in other countries that opposition go to the polls. After the polls, they concede defeat, they congratulate the winners, and they go back to the drawing board waiting for the next elections. And the country moves. But unfortunately, we don't seem to have a very organized opposition, and it's a bit unfortunate, but that's the reality on the ground. We, as a party, we have to be ready for any eventuality. But every election is very critical, is very important, because we would like, first of all, our party members to exercise their rights to vote for the people that they want. So in terms of our membership, it is important that they participate, because it is their right. That's why they are members of the party, so that they can exercise that right, and that they have a right to be represented, be represented by people of their own choice. We don't want to impose like what other parties do. We would want people to make the choice themselves, so that the people who go forward in Parliament, they are people who have got the mandate from the electorate. The elections, every time when elections come, it's a new phenomenon. We can't rely on the past. Every time it's people have to exercise their rights, and we want people to participate and make sure that this is an opportunity for them. We are just coming from harmonized general elections, but because of the recalls, we are now back into the campaign mode, and therefore it's another chance for people in Bulawayo province really to ensure that they exercise their right, and that they choose the right people who can represent them, and people who stand for what is right, not only for them but for the country as a whole.